one more thing I feel the need to add to my previous video is that it seems to me that these people like Ze Frank, people in these cults who worship the Abrasics, and yes, even the Freemasons, they seem to worship the Abrasics. They know about it, at least. Freemason lodges have posted Abrasics images and histories of the Abrasics on their Facebook pages, for crying out loud. If you study the Abrasics and what it stands for like a balance of opposing forces, good and evil. So what I think these people might be trying to worship is a God that they think is this. They're trying to embody in themselves some kind of a balance of good and evil. Something that is both in unison together. That doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. We've already learned this from the lesson of the Ignavi angels. I spoke about them like a couple of years ago. I'll remind you. The story of the Ignavi angels is the story of the war in heaven. When the devil rebelled against God, it split heaven into groups of angels. One group of angels was loyal to God. The other group of angels, they rebelled with the devil. But there was a third group. The third group was called the Ignavi angels, and they refused to take a side. They refused to fight for God or for the devil. And when the war in heaven ended and the rebels were cast out of heaven, God turned to the Ignavi angels and cast them out too. Because sometimes not picking a side is the same as picking a side. Because if you just stand back and let evil win, you're choosing evil by default. If you're not actively fighting for righteousness, you are by default choosing for evil to win. Look at it this way. It's the same as if you know somebody is robbing people or raping kids, or you even just suspect it and you don't say or do anything or try and stop it, you're helping them to get away with it. So you are choosing evil by default. One way that it's said more frequently, and most of you have probably heard this saying, is all it takes for evil to win is for good people to do nothing. But then if evil wins, because those quote-unquote good people did nothing, are they really good people? No, they're not. They're evil. So don't you understand? There's no third option here. There is no third option. There's no person that's a perfect balance of good and evil. There's just good or evil. There's just good people and evil people. Now, good people, they mess up, they make mistakes, they do evil things once in a while, but their heart is mostly good. It's mostly in the right place. It's loving, it's nurturing, it's caring, it's prolific. And then there are evil people who do destructive, horrible, evil, terrible things. They hurt people, and they might occasionally do good things because it's in their interest to do good things. Like, again, an example would be Jimmy Savile, who raped children and disabled people, but at the same time, publicly, he was very philanthropic. He raised funds to have facilities built or continued on that would help disabled people. And then he used his access to those facilities to gain access to patients in those facilities so that he could rape them. So he pretended to be good. He did good things in public because it helped him to be more evil. So there's no third option here. There just isn't. You're either a good person or you're an evil person. There is no in between. That's all there is to it, Zay. Make up your mind. You're either one or the other. You'll never be some perfect blend of both. And I'd say if you're a 53-year-old man who actively rapes children or who has raped children as an adult. You knew it was wrong. You know it's wrong. You know you should turn yourself in. You know you should submit yourself to justice and get justice for those children, and you're still not doing it, then you're evil. Again, whatever you've done as a kid, as a child, as a minor, I think can be forgiven and overlooked. If you're born into a cult, I'm sure you were convinced to do all kinds of evil things. But you're not a child anymore. You're a 53-year-old fucking man. And whatever you've done since you were 18 years old, you need to take accountability for and responsibility for, and again, submit yourself to justice. If you've raped children since you were 18 years old, and I suspect very strongly that you have, you deserve to go sit in a prison cell. Those children deserve justice. They deserve to have the man who did that to them tell the truth to the authorities, be put on trial, found guilty, and sent to prison. And every day you let go by that you don't do that, you're just submitting yourself to evil more. You're just choosing evil by default more and more and more and more. The Abraxas is a trick of the devil. It's a demon. It's not some magical mix, even Steven, perfect blend of good and evil. It's just evil. That's it. If you people think otherwise, you're morons.